Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3, where the ecstatic legions have ridden out into the field to challenge us, to prevent us from just sieging them to death inside their castle, and we are going to have to show them why that was not a very good idea either. So first of all, we have just a ton of incantations here that we can apply, and they're sort of all scattered and screwed up because we've been building whatever was fastest to build rather than what was best. So let's take a second here. Okay, so Harrowing Coil. So this thing is really best against ranged units. A thing about the Chaos Forces is that generally they do not so much have those. So you can see here, not actually a single ranged unit in the bunch. They have some heavy infantry, lots of HP, lots of armor, reasonable defensive stats. They have some chariots, they have some monsters. Get some giants and some manticores and a batch of dragon ogres, which is certainly something. They're specifically, quite good against large. So we gotta be careful about that. Actually, we don't have to be careful about that. Like, everything in my damn army is large, so I guess that's gonna be what it's gonna be. But the thing I'm most worried about is this. They have a lot of these very heavy infantry with reasonable defensive stats, survivability, charge defense, charge reflection, and considerable anti-large bonuses. This is exactly the kind of thing I was most concerned about through a lot of the campaign. So we're just going to have to see. Now, I don't think their numbers are all that impressive, and a lot of the troops they do have are kind of bad. Mostly I'm worried about, like, we have here 7 units of pretty serious infantry. There's an 8th up there. That's the kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I'm largely concerned about. So, Agony's Succession is the damage hex. Let's throw some Agony's Succession on... What is the difference between these? Weapon strength versus attack. Whatever. I'm going to throw some Agony's Succession on their Halberd Knights in particular. This is the one that's going to make people rampage and stuff. Honestly, you want to kind of put this on, like... We might not use these. I guess throwing them up on the Chosen will make them a little easier to kill. Okay, everything with this icon is massive stat debuffs. The Typhlosis. This one is just damage per second forever. Okay, so... Things I am next most concerned about. Honestly, the Dragon Ogres a little bit. Let's give them one of the Typhlosis things. Minus physical resistance. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then this is just slow people down, make it harder for them to do their thing. I mean, like, speed debuffs on ranged units, or on, cavalry units. Speed debuffs reduce the effectiveness of charges. So we can definitely just throw some of this minus speed stuff down on the Chaos Knights, just kind of like make their lives more difficult. And then, honestly, I don't know that we need to apply too much more. Yeah, I guess we'll get these chariots, too. All right, what do we have in the way of blessings? So, the Ember Dread, big weapon damage bonus, and makes their attacks flaming. We definitely want to put this on, people who are going to be in melee. And I'm not opposed to basically just like using our whole stock of buffs here if we have to. This is a pretty important battle. It would be nice to win it big. This is physical resistance, speed up. This one I probably want to hold on to. Put this together against, put this on the spiders against enemies who have bows and stuff. Enemies who have ranged attacks. Speed, weapon strength. Yeah, let's do a little bit of that on the bears, and then I think we might be good to go. I guess a little charge bonus on you. Okay, I think we can handle this from here. Honestly, this might be overkill. Do I have a banner? I do have a banner. Plus leadership for you guys. Just try to try to stay in. So, like I'm saying, this army does not really have any ranged units. This is something that I really wish we were... I wish we had a stack up here that was cannon heavy, because you could just pick away at them as they approach, right? But what we do have is the trio of witches, fast moving, able to fire in all directions with pretty serious range damage. So I think that's going to be a big part of the plan here, is just trying to like pick the enemies apart as best we can as they approach, harry them without having to worry about any counterfire, and then when they get in, you know, we do what we normally do. So we don't know exactly where they all are, but I do want them to have to approach us in the open. And I want us to have a nice height advantage, so maybe even here. Now we can afford to play a little bit further back because they are of course on the clock here. They are the aggressive party. Here, let's set up the bears kind of here, the things in the woods here. So these are the units they're actually going to be able to see, right? You guys can be in a position to fight flanks. You are hanging out in the middle of the crew. All right, and the witch team. Let me actually queue up all my ranged as well here. All right. Let's set up our witches like here. And like I said, we roll forward, we harass immediately. They don't really have anything that's fast enough to threaten us.
And another of Keithlev's foes must be destroyed.
They're casting hateful magics upon us. Somehow we shall survive. So one of you has Assault of Stone. I think it's reasonable to open with the Assault of Stone. I wonder if we should try to do one of the big damage spells. I am going to throw out our bear spirit here as well. Should I just go straight to the giant? It's going to do a lot of damage and then leave a burning effect. I mean, like, obviously I want to get rid of the halberds. I have strong feelings about the halberds. But also, we have a lot of, like, magical explosive effects. It might be good to start it on single large enemies. Maybe they're Exalted Hero. Okay, a little bit of value there. All right, so let's drop. I am going to drop some more magic here. So we used your Assault of Stone. We have another Assault of Stone here. This Exalted Hero thinks he's going to do some incredible work. Just shooting at us, getting into melee with us directly because we're casters. He is about to learn that witches do not work exactly the way he is hoping. Alright, so they tried to stop short and back out of it. Still did some reasonable... We got some hits there. Yeah, he is losing for sure. So they've all kind of come to a stop now. And I think I want to put down... This is what we want. We want to break up their approach. Because if they are approaching us piecemeal, that's more time for the ranged to pick them apart. The passive range, the back foot ranged. So let's see if we can...
Shadows consume.
The Black Sun is wandering in the wrong direction, sadly.
Wolves.
So yeah, you can see he's having a rough go of it.
Dirt. The lads rot. Take me.
All right, they're bringing their Manticore up. Do we want to just drop our own Manticore to challenge, or honestly, Manticores just aren't that impressive as units. We get to keep firing while we're moving too, so we're just like, yeah, we're just getting a ton of damage for free here. We could throw out a quick Amber Spear. Try to get a nice explosive damage. Okay, we have broken this hero. He is a fool. Was that your Amber Spear? Did you just shoot it at the wrong target? Nope. Oh, she's getting ready. There we go. Okay. That's fine as far as casting goes. Now, I am a little surprised to see how spread out they're willing to get. It's like, this is what happens, right? That unit of Chaos Knights gets shredded. They're in no position to defend anybody. Alright. Make that Manticore pay for his foolishness. Yep, that worked. And Manticore down. All right. So we've done some good work here as far as separating them out and killing some of their large stuff goes. Getting rid of that Exalted Hero early, I think, is really good value. I'm gonna try to drop another upgraded Purple Sun, sort of just like in the middle of their advancing melee area, and hopefully this one will randomly wander in slightly more useful ways. Y'all start focusing, start focusing in on the Chaos Knights here. And it's almost time for the melee to start doing stuff. Very nearly. In addition, let's go ahead and start the mushrooms, I guess. The witches could get a little bit of healing. And yeah, let's hit the Chaos Giant with the Bear Spirit now. I'm not too worried about the Chaos Knights. They're going to catch so many armor-piercing crossbow bolts in the back that, yeah. This is bad news for them, really. Okay, she just did not cast it. She changed her mind.
Beowulf's yeah. The snows guide me.
Get loose enough to... yeah. Okay. Ranged units start focusing in on these trolls. So trolls are good damage dealers, especially against, sort of infantry-sized things. But they have very poor armor, very poor health, and very poor leadership, more than anything else. So one thing that you get most critically out of a charge or a ranged attack against trolls is that you will break their morale very quickly. So the dragon ogres are exactly what I do not want the spiders having to deal with. I think what we're going to do is try to commit the spider team against the chosen as quickly as possible. Where is that unit of you guys? You guys are way back here. Okay. Let's try to perform like a little bit of a blocking maneuver here. I really don't want the dragon ogres to catch up with the spiders, but we're probably not going to be able to stop that. Yeah, you guys just go in deep. Just try to get clear. This guy's large, but he's also pretty good he's also very anti-large, right? And we will just have him run down here and try to do some damage. And Constantine can, I think, follow him. And then the things... so you can see some of their units are very, very far out. Let's have the things in the forest attack their only ranged unit, but mostly what this is it's about positioning for the flank. Some people are really into like the hammer and anvil as a strategy when you have as much cavalry as we have. The problem with that for us is that we don't own an anvil. So what I'm going to try to do a little bit of here is just clap the enemy between our hammers.
Shadows gather.
Mother Estancia is... Yep, so you can see the bears and the spiders hit them from different sides at the same time and hopefully cause some damage here. Mother Estancia is clear enough that perhaps we can get a bear spirit off. It takes her a really long time to wind that up. In on the giant.
Sons of Gislev! Shadows gather, Ostakia command.
Alright, potions of toughness for the witches that are totally winning melee, by the way. Alright, it seems like she's a little reluctant to cast the bear. Let's do some debuffing. Let's debuff their lord. Their lord is also a sorcerer, and he's kind of like our witches, he's kind of a combat sorcerer, but he is definitely not up to the task here. Alright, giant down. We're seeing a lot of panic on the faces of our enemies. Okay, well that went down way easier than I was expecting, if I'm honest. I was really expecting them to put up more of a fight than that. They call it a close victory, but we hardly lost anyone. Some of us didn't even really make it into combat. I appreciate that if you mouse over, there is a damage dealt value as well. I wish that was a little bit more surfaced. 9378. Very well done. So yeah, we did some good work there. The army, what's left of the army, will simply retreat into the settlement. But obviously at this point, we have killed a lot of their larger stuff. We have broken a lot of the things that they would use to start up a charge, and so it will be trivial for us to just destroy this army on our turn. And then we just have to get Mother Estancia back to someplace where she can heal before she gets completely surrounded by legions of chaos. We should definitely take whatever healing we can come by here. Thanks for the boost, Salyak.
Those who offend Gislev.
Yep, Vigo's headed to Erengrad. That's fine. We have an army headed to Erengrad as well. And like I said, if we do lose it temporarily, it's well worth the trouble. Yeah, I don't know. I was ready for a little bit more of a knockdown drag out there. I was not expecting their morale to shatter so easily. But like, we put down a couple of the monsters and we embarrassed their lord on the battlefield, and I guess that's all it takes. Our enemies certainly are moving forward. I'm a little worried about that, because obviously on Mother Estancia's turn, in order to get rid of the Tower of Crack and thus eliminate this faction from the game, we're going to have to either raise it or occupy it. And that means that Mother Estancia doesn't really get to move. We're going to be like very much in the same place during the next cycle of enemy turns, which means we might get jumped. Okay, people are ranking up in territory that belongs to Kislev, also picking up mounts and whatnot. Of course, our mentor trait means lots of XP, just kind of flying around everywhere.
Make sail.
We are definitely headed with this guy, same way we took the hero, just up through the Sea of Claws.
Gislev's foes
All right, so let's finish this off though. So what are we actually looking at? Wulfrik the Wanderer cannot quite reach us. This is his normal movement range. Hubas also cannot quite reach us. So probably actually the best thing to do here would be to
They will be better dead.
occupy it, because if we raise it, it's going to bounce us backward, and Hubas will be able to reach us. And if we occupy it, we can take a turn of replenishment inside, and then we can abandon it, because I don't actually want to worry about it.
Feed the forest rage.
So, let's take our decisive victory. We did manage to construct some rams, which we will not be using.
Kill for Kislev.
And since we're not planning to stay, we may as well loot and occupy. I guess sack and then interact with it later is more money than loot and occupy, explaining some AI behavior, but like there's no way they needed the money, right? I'm reaching for explanations for their behavior. Okay, I'm not going to bother repairing that. If there had been any buildings, I would have set them to, to destruct.
Call me.
Okay, so we'll get one turn of replenishment. Our army will be in real good shape, and then we'll be back out on the run. Zoya
switch.
makes it to here,
Seek out Kislev's foes.
where we get full replenishment thanks to allied land. Absolutely improve the replenishment of our troops. We're going to need it.
Switch.
But yeah, if they don't manage to punish Ostankia in a pretty serious way here, a pretty conclusive, I might say, way for our incursion, then they're never going to manage to. I think we have gotten away with it, basically.
Do you wish the lady's favor?
You know what I wish? I wish that we were close enough friends to... Wait, I really can't pay that off? I have 30,000 gold. Okay, he really doesn't want to give us that alliance. How's Carcassonne feeling about it? Okay. Minus a lot more. And Bordelot Errant, yeah.
To fair Bretonia.
I mean, out of curiosity.
Welcome to fair Bretonia.
No, okay.
Come on now.
I figured, they're a smaller faction. Maybe the monetary realities will be a little bit different. We need to consume 61 more essence. We're going to spend 60 of it right here. So I need a settlement owned by an enemy that is worth some money. We have taken the two big ones that we are aware of, and unfortunately, yeah, 730 something might be the best move we have left. So we don't have all that many enemies. I guess we are at war with these orcs. Are any of these... Karak Ungor's got a gold mine, and somehow only producing 33 gold per turn. Yeah, this sucks. All of our enemies are so bad at making money. This is a Norskin thing, though. Their troops aren't terribly expensive. All right, the Bay of Blades seems like a winner. Alter the Crimson Harvest. Oh, I'm not at war with you, actually. Yeah, okay, Bay of Blades.
The lads reaches all. Shake.
Okay. So that'll help. That's a little bit of money. And also...
Creepy. The pay.
Okay.
Mere chillblades. But the live.
So next turn, this'll open up. I assume we'll get a quest. There will be a battle, and we'll figure all that out.
Wise woman.
You should just harass the incoming, because we sure are going to have some incoming. Oh, she's tired, isn't she? Yeah, all right. Maybe don't do anything in particular then. Just kind of hang out.
Of Kislev.
So we have here our patriarch who is headed to the new army.
Row harder.
And is that really it? Are we out of... Huh. Yep, that is all of my armies and everything moved. Except Natalia, who is intentionally not moving very much. Well, I have to say, I'm a little surprised. So we can cap out some things over here. How is the Griffinwood doing? Yeah, this is a high priority. Let's make sure we get those growth buildings up. Okay. Yep, not doing anything there. So it's not, I don't know when this is up. Lamont's army might be allowed to move this turn, and if they are, then I expect they will attack Erengrad. Vigo could turn and attack Zoya with what we can see of his army being kind of like crummy infantry and crummy monster units, crummy war beasts. I think we could probably handle him, even though that army obviously is a lot less expert. Okay, they're gonna get revenge on Erengrad. Fair enough. Not a lot I can do about that, sadly. Like I said, it is well worth it to make that trade-off, especially because it is quite temporary, in order to remove this faction from the game. The elves are getting a little, they're sort of overextended here. They're fighting a lot of enemies on a lot of sides, and I guess the enemies are much, much weaker than the elves are, but enough of them over a large enough area will exert the kind of force that can break somebody. So I hope our allies are being careful and smart, and definitely shipping a lot more troops up to this area. So we're probably going to have to fight to open up the 5th hex. And then once the 5th hex is opened up, the way that our actual objectives are worded, it sounds like opening up the 5th hex opens up the ability for us to learn this powerful apocalyptic hex. So I'm sure there will be a 6th quest battle beyond that before we can take any actions that might actually win us a game. And we might have to wait a couple of turns before we're ready to take Astankia's army into another big battle, because we're going to have to fight off all the people around Erengrad and then heal up. Alright, what are you doing? Are you going to take Erengrad? Yeah, this is the only move that makes any sense, right? And we don't have nearly a force capable of defending it. Alright, yep, so they take that in hopes of allowing their faction to survive. Obviously, we're going to ride down and reclaim it, and ride up and reclaim it. And in fact, I think we should be able to unite our two armies this turn. And we will collapse the Tower of Crack behind us, although honestly, probably what's going to happen is I'm going to set it to abandon, and then Wulfrik the Wanderer is going to take it before it actually does that. We certainly don't have the time to sit around and try to defend it while it falls over. Okay, he gets to go into ambush mode. And Lamont is allowed to move. So there is a turn of enemy movement between two different casts of the curse mark. Good to know, although at this point unlikely to really come to anything, right? Okay, yep, it's true, we have lost Erengrad. Well, their Stankia is still gaining traits constantly. Wulfrik's ambush was unsuccessful. Who would have thought? And we need to go do battle with a recreant spirit. No, for a recreant spirit. Where the dead roam, their spirits also wander, practically begging for someone to make use of their wretched souls. Enthralled by dark magic, a broken spirit may be called forth as but one part of a deathly army of specters, intent on haunting their summoner's foes. Yet first their moldering corpses must be dealt with. The rotten undead still walk the earth, guarding the spirits yet to be set free. Send them to their second deaths, for only then can their spirits be bound to an afterlife of endless service, which I'm sure they're very into. So we will learn this hex that allows us to just summon up armies. And sure enough, that's a bunch of undead. Reinforcements expected. What a surprise. Somebody managed to return this Sword of Cain to its shrine without being consumed by its magic, so good for them.
Or a son? What use is a dead god?
And Mother Astankia is... So let's hear. Can Zoya...
Storm summon.
Zoya can make it to Erengrad, but not with normal movement, so I can't actually attack Erengrad this turn. How do I want to do this?
Enough to be a hat too.
We could run over and slaughter Wulfrik real quick. The benefit of which would obviously be that that we don't have anybody coming in behind us.
What names are these for?
These two are, yeah, they are defensive allies. You can see the diplomatic indicator there. Ooh, this army's crummy. Hobas's army is very conquerable. Honestly, Vigo's army is bad too. Yeah, I don't think we need to be afraid, but unfortunately we literally can't attack. So I'm trying not to like end up standing in the swamp. And unfortunately, these ice witches, they do not learn how to do proper ambushing. But yeah, we can just I guess I could also just go into encampment mode. And then it doesn't matter if I end up in the swamp, because we'll be immune to the attrition anyway.
For the Ungos.
So Lamont's army is the only one in the area that's even a little bit dangerous.
I will deny you your
You know what? I think we're gonna kill Wulfrik, because I'm so not worried about the armies to our south.
curdling milk.
Really, it doesn't... okay. It wants us to play this one out manually as well. Honestly, I don't know that I think we even need to apply any curses or anything here. Yeah, the only thing he's really got going for him is that he has like a bunch of monsters. For 3 units of War Mammoths, and then he himself is riding a War Mammoth. He does have Marauder champions with great weapons, but he has way fewer of those units than we were seeing in the other army, and a lot of the rest of this stuff is real squishy. We can just fight this battle. This is fine. He's got a couple of units of pretty decent missile cavalry here. These javelin throwing horse guys, essentially horse archers, but they will have a very bad time if they get anywhere near our forces, because our ambushers are just going to rip them apart. Honestly, I think we're going to probably just go for a pretty similar strategy here. Set the real combat units back somewhat and just have the witches do a lot of the work. I really like this as a strategy. This is something that feels very different from any of the other factions that I've played. Okay, this seems like our area. Right, that's defensible. And then I'm actually going to put as much of the rest of the army in these trees as possible. Like, we have a lot of people have stock, and so it will already look to the AI, look to our opponents like we have very few armies standing over here, but I want to keep that feeling true as long as possible.
Wise woman. That witch.
All right, And for quick retargeting purposes, let's get y'all marked. Alright. I think this big hole in the middle of the battlefield is actually hugely to our benefit.
Those impudent fools. They think themselves strong. Aye. But what is their strength to the leeching cold, the dark shadows, the vile woods? They will learn, won't they?
She's a lot to say about every enemy. Oh, I don't know if that's smart, friends.
Heedless curse.
They're getting the idea. They're realizing that perhaps they have fucked up. I mean, we may as well try to spirit bear them if we can actually get it to launch. It is definitely somewhat cantankerous as an ability. And you can see, even though we haven't hit them with anything yet, their leadership is still all screwed up because just being shot at is enough. A couple of hits have got their leadership even lower. They're considering surrendering. They're considering just abandoning the field. There goes the bear. Pretty solid hit. Yeah, that's going to break him. All right. Now we do actually have limited ammunition. We can't shoot cauldron fire at them forever. But I think that's a pretty good start. We just run off one of the few units that's capable of dealing any meaningful damage to us. More or less for free. We didn't even really use much magic there. When I say magic, I mean, like, you know, the ability, the bear thing. It's not even costing us wins. Alright, y'all start working on this. Let's get another one of those serious things. Yeah, we'll just drop it right here and we'll see where it wanders.
The hack goes. Word of the land.
Okay, it is moving with them. You can see it's just chomping on that the unit there. They're going to try to catch up with us, and we're just going to ride away and deal damage for free on the retreat.
It is time.
This poor mammoth, it wants to fight so bad.
Hack witch.
Do we want to... It's not a bad place for that. Drop some more rocks over there. Not getting a lot of damage, but we are getting a lot of separation, as before. And this is the kind of time when you want to be doing things like tossing out amber spears against single enemy units. And
I am no hag.
okay, pretty good, solid hit there. Here comes the bear. It's gonna miss. That's a shame. It's a big ability. Alright, so they put the skin wolves out after us. These things are pretty fast, and their damage output is real. But yeah, they're just not going to be up to the task of surviving the amount of damage the witches put out, and that's even without thinking about spells. And obviously we are going to think about some spells. Alright. She's going to just stay in and fight then. And if that's the case, let's do some debuffs and stuff. So she's already hitting them with the Curse of Anrayr just by attacking them. Let's, I guess, just enfeeble these foes. Enfeebling foes like crazy cheap and super long lasting for her. We're getting pretty close to the point where we would be where we'll be able to attack the mammoths. You know what? Y'all just step up. Let's make the battle with Wulfrik the Wanderer happen quickly. Now, he is pretty well armored and he has a lot of HP. However, he is only one man. Good shot. They attack up, and he's already broken. Yeah, it's just too much range damage. Okay, here we go. Their faster moving units have caught up with us. This seems like a great time to drop another purple sun, just kind of like directly in their stuff. And do we want to fan out and just like try to collapse in on them? I don't think so. I think we want to wait until more of their troops have arrived. So for the moment, let's just have the witches continue to handle it. We'll throw up a healing area over here and good movement from the sun following the enemy troops. You can see it's really doing a number on those marauders. Here come the crows. Patriarch chasing Wulfrik off the map. That'll work. He's drawing a lot of attention to himself. Yep, and as soon as we get the focus fire in on the enemies. Okay. Armored Kossars do this thing. Akshina ambushers fall back some. Some of the spiders are outside of, like, fully outside of the trees for some reason. And as the rest of our opponents approach, this is, I think, the time to fan out and create the wings that we will clap on the enemies' heads. All right, y'all are pretty fast. You should be able to handle that. And you are just right up the middle, I think. Go say hi to those Famir. Okay, how much more magic do we want to throw out? I mean, we can definitely drop some potions of toughness. You're doing some fine work here. Do we have... not Doom and Darkness, but... Oh, there it is. Okay, it's the Overcast version. I was like, we definitely have a spell that is like an AoE leadership down. I'm going to put it like right here. We'll drop a lot of these monster units pretty quickly. Alright, the ambushers are getting away from the Famir. The Famir are getting elemental of beasts. Oh wait, bears in here. Spiders in there. Spiders in there. Oh, spiders there for sure. Bears in on the bigger stuff. You know what? Actually, this unit of bears, go help the Patriarch. Don't let him weather that alone. Alright, let's see if we can withdraw these witches. Trying to make a little bit of space for the witches by making melee contact with every other enemy. Okay. Wulfrik has seen better days here. Okay, so the witches are the only ones to have sustained really meaningful damage, which is what we like to see. Because we can, in future battles, just hold them back a little bit, and they can still be just as effective, honestly. 2. Losses number 2. 190 kills for the one who can cast the black orb, the black sun. And yeah, just a lot of consequenceless murder. Now his army is going to get to fall back a little bit, right? They weren't in march mode. So they'll get to fall back a little bit. We'll have to pursue to finish them off proper. And then I'm hoping we can make it back to the tower. I think we're going to leave the tower up for another turn just so that we have territory up here to receive replenishment in. And then Astanka is so fast that she should be able to still get back to Erengrad on the next turn. Not fast enough to initiate a combat there, but certainly fast enough to show up as reinforcements to a conflict initiated by the Ice Witch. Once again, I think it behooves us to take whatever health we can. We certainly don't need the money.
Whether you like it or not. Mother of
Alright, yeah,
Stone,
finish the job.
consume them in shadows.
We do so love to consume them.
Spirits, I see.
Oh, she doesn't make it back to friendly territory. That's interesting.
Hag, at your peril.
Do I want to get in the water?
The land
No,
calls
probably
to
not.
be there.
So the Coven's Curse mark won't be meaningful because we don't actually have territory over here.
This is why Kislev endures. Enervation
Just
shall
throw up some
be there.
debuffs on our enemies. We're not going to kill anybody here. We're not going to do any wounding because I want to make sure that I can curse each of these armies in turn. Sergei, sadly, is still really far away.
This is my right.
Oh, and I think we crashed. Yep, it sure does appear that we crashed. Well, that's inconvenient. That might... Gosh, when will the autosave be? That might mean that battle has to be replayed, and obviously if it does, I will do that off camera. I'll not waste everybody's time. You know what? Let's just go ahead and call it here for today. So give me time to figure out what's going on and try to fix it. So that's going to be it for us for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, everything is going to function flawlessly. We're going to kill a bunch of dudes, get back sort of stabilized in the north, and then pursue what might be our final couple of critical quest battles. We may, in fact, be very close to declaring ourselves queen of the entire world. And we'll see you then.